Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Thanks for coming to LRGA Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in, ring the bell so you can get notified next time we upload videos and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we are growing here in the YouTube streets. Thanks again for coming through, y'all. Thanks again for being you, y'all. All right. All right. Because God made something magnificent in you. God created something magnificent in you. Yes, God did. And because the Most High has created something so magnificent in you, I really appreciate you taking your time, your magnificent time, to check in with LRGA Curves today. Thanks for popping in. Smash those buttons, all right? So today we're going to be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 9, Episode 30, Part 1 of the reunion. Okay? But we're going to look at it from a different angle because I watched it not in a place they could get my view, but I did watch it and I felt like it was lackluster. I feel like it was the things they did talk about were like, oh, really this? Okay, like this was 2 seasons ago information. And now to know that, the Messy Monday interview with Tisha and them. So even to find out what they said at the reunion wasn't necessarily the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And then we had Melody Rodgers, honorary doctor, do a live earlier this week on her Instagram, wherein she preempted how she would be. She preempted the reunion, y'all. She broke the fourth wall. She abolished it. There is no fourth wall. We's free now. We's free. Okay? Because she broke the fourth wall. And in breaking the fourth wall, she revealed not only did this description violate her, as well as she's noticed the pattern power of her treatment on the show that she helped create and how she was targeted. And as a viewer, I've seen that. And as a viewer, other people have seen other things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Melody, I'm not a mellometer. I'm Team LRGA Curves. Hashtag Team LRGA Curves always. And I do get passionate about my POV because it's based off of my experience. This is LRGA Curves channel. I'm biased towards LRGA Curves, opinions and views, and my feelings. I got my faves. I got my people who I'm like, that bitch must remind me of that girl in the 6th grade because there's, other people aren't feeling the amount of passion I'm feeling for it. But obviously, the passionate ones, our POVs are based off of experiences. And other people's POVs are based off of their experiences, right? So in my POV, it was dirty for them to put a description up for the reunion in writing that Destiny claims Martell and Melody allegedly groomed her for a threesome. Sonny joins the cast on stage to hash out. So that was supposed to happen. Kimmy and Melody argue over Melody's double standards. Destiny was supposed to be able to claim that Melody and Martell allegedly were trying to prep her, fluff her for a threesome. We'll call it fluffer because she wasn't groomed. Not in my opinion. And Melody preempted this with proof from the red phone. She pulled out the red phone. Those who know that that's where she keeps all the good receipts. She don't get rid of her phones, her devices, you guys. And so she was able to pull out the red phone and show phone numbers with directions from production on go meet Kimmy and talk about the lipstick on the chin because it's in social media. So all this smoke and fire that Kimmy and Maurice are coming to Melody with, knowing that production had her do it. So it's like, this is a lot of smoke and fire, bitch. You need to whoa Nilly over there. Okay? Because you know, and I know that production had me talk to you about this. So all of this neck rolling and eyes and I'm a bitch and with a botched butt job shit that you have going on, Kimmy, like this is like overacting overkill. But that's what you do when you feel like somebody's wounded and they have what you want. Like to me, all the Scots want what Melody has. They don't really want what Martell has, but they want what Melody has, even as a single woman. You know what I'm saying? Um, which is being the favorite, I feel. Whether it's from Carla's production, own, or the fans, they would love a slice of that vanilla pie. Okay? That key lime key custard pie, that dulce de leche cheesecake. They want a slice. They want to taste it. The sweet life. However, they've spent what's equivalent to 9 seasons, because it's technically 8. They've spent what's equivalent to 9 seasons coming for her ankles every season. And she kind of goes along with it. She kind of bites back at a reunion here and there, but pretty much she's been like the target, and she's been taking it because she does have, like, credits on the show or whatever. But then it comes to this alleged being a fluffer. And she was like, oh, this is way too far. And production's in on the shits. Like they're giving Kimmy's mic on time to come at me at the reunion about some bullshit that they set up. So I want us to look at the proof that Melody provided prior to exiting stage left from from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because she did this live this week. And in this live, it was 2 hours, you guys. She said she's not even going to say nothing about it again. Okay? What triggered it for her was this grooming thing, was the final straw. And she'll even get to that. But she's going to address several topics, which are all going to be coming up, I guess, on this reunion that they've obviously chopped up and handed back to us now that they're on notice. Because of this live we're watching, the description did not match the episode that we saw because of this live. Okay? And for those of you who are wondering, why does Destiny have freaking first chair? Like, this is the Housewives. That was so weird. Why was Destiny first chair? Because she was alleging this whole fluffer situation with Martell and Melody. Right? So let's listen to Melody and her truth. And she's breaking the fourth wall. She's going to run and tell all of it. So let me make it big for us. Here, I'm going to let it play and let it make it big. I'm going to speed it up, though, because she talks slow. So we can hear every word.
No complaints at all. So, first of all, I want to thank all of you for coming over. It was really fun. So, no complaints at all. So, first of all, I want to thank all of you for coming over. I know everybody has so much to do, and everybody's busy, but I appreciate y'all being in the room. I'm going to start out by saying that it is disheartening that I even have to do this. I'll start here. It is disheartening that I even have to do this. And I have literally spent the last probably like 3-4 months now. Spent the last 3-4 months just really being more silent. Really, I feel like when you're silent, that's when you can hear. And so I spend a lot of time being silent and trying to sit a little bit, pray. A lot of y'all joined me on the universe fast, and that was amazing. And just overall clarity, right? Overall clarity. And it's been great, to be honest. Some of my teams were like, "Ooh, you don't know how much longer we doing. You don't be able to just keep being quiet, shoot, I was wondering if you was gonna be able to keep doing it." And I've been doing it. And that was a time I posted the scripture the other day. There's a time for peace, there's a time for war. And I just feel like there's a time to be silent. I will pull back, but you guys have been able to see a lot by way of the show. When I start feeling a different energy or a questionable energy, I will pull back and just observe. I'm going to pull back and I'm going to watch your moves. I'm going to see what you do, how you move, who you're talking to, how you're talking. And I'm going to just watch. And then from there, I'll be able to make the determination of whether or not this is something for someone that is in my life or not, right? And so that's kind of what I've been doing. Sitting back, trying to see what hand people are going to play, what people are going to do, what they're going to say. And it's been interesting. It's been interesting. It's been disheartening. It has been saddening to an extent, but it's also been confirmation. It's also been confirmation for me, just by seeing. I'm going to be honest with you. I have not been watching the show this season, so I may have to rely on some of you all who have been watching to help me through maybe some things I missed or that I don't know that maybe made the cut or not. Because honestly, I've only seen clips here and there. Sometimes I'll scroll on Instagram and I'll see clips of the show and I'll keep scrolling because I don't want to see it. But sometimes I watch the clips that pop up on Instagram. And so I have seen some of the clips. I have not seen one full episode this time season. So y'all probably don't have to help me some. But I can speak to and attest to the things that I was a part of, that I factual, that I know to be facts. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start out with, and I'm going to tell y'all this right now too. This is not going to be a back and forth thing. It's not going to be a situation where I'm going to speak today and, somebody's going to say something tomorrow and, Mel's going to come back and say something else. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not in the position, in the mood, in the realm mentally to do back and forth with people. That's not what I'm going to do. So I don't want you to think that it's not to be some turned up anything because anybody's.
Hey, what's good, Jazzy J? I got back at you. I sent you my card so you can have my number, so we can talk about the insurance for you. Okay.
There's something else coming back. It's not. I'm going to lay out the facts. I'm going to give y'all the receipts. I will probably do an extended, at some point, an extended sit-down interview. That will be a one-time sit-down as well, 9 times out of 10. But I'm not going back and forth with anybody. So I don't want y'all to think that's what's like that, because that's not it. So let's get into it.
Okay. Yeah, call me when it's over.
Watch this season of filming and the scenes I've been in and the clips that I've seen and I've been creating.
Thanks for being.
I've watched, and the one word that I would use to describe all that has been going on and the people involved.
Don't know what just happened.
There's one word.
Can you hear it okay?
And that word is delusion. The word is delusion.
Is the speed too fast or anything?
This is crazy. I've never seen me firsthand someone who has been a victim of something be attempted to be made out to be the villain, right? Until there are some parts that I would say due diligence was not done. Due diligence includes asking the other party as a production team, asking questions versus just running with what one person says.
Okay, yeah.
And
Please do that.
False narratives that you have not confirmed, that have not been proven true, right? Then at that point, you are putting yourself in a position of life for libel and defamation. And what I can tell you guys for sure is there have been a lot of narratives out that I wasn't even asked about. Didn't even know were being speaking or being said. Definitely wasn't asked about. So when I look at and think back to clips that I've seen where there has been defense of behaviors, of decisions that nobody asked me for proof that I could have easily provided, by the way. But now we're on the reunion stage and want to act shocked. Well, you should have asked me, the victim in the situation. I could have pulled the paperwork and showed you what the outcome was. But you didn't ask because you really didn't want it. Because see, the truth wouldn't align with your agenda. I'll say that again. The truth would not align with your agenda. So instead of doing your due diligence and asking and then being given the necessary proof to then change maybe the direction.
Hey, Mamere.
You decided to stay quiet with your team and not ask questions. Right? But now we're
Thanks for being here.
when the facts come out, and I'm finally asked on the reunion stage, what we jumping up for now? This could have been asked. Could have been told you. Could have been told you. It's my I can go pull the records. It's my documents. What do you mean?
So for those of you just coming in, this is Melody Holtz live from the other day before she quit Love and Marriage Huntsville, preempting the reunion airing last night, season 9, episode 30 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, the show that she originally went to Carlos King, shot, he took it, he morphed it just enough for him to be able to say it's his creation, but gave her and her ex-husband producing credits because they were involved in the creation of the show. Okay. So then in the description of the thingamabob episode that was supposed to air, they said this, that Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 9, episode 30, which is the reunion part 1, that it was going to be Kimmy and Melody argue over Melody's double standards. Destiny claims Martell and Melody groomed her for a threesome. I'm going to refer to grooming as fluffing for the rest of this video because I don't believe she was groomed. And we're going to see why. Melody's going to have her red phone full of receipts. And Sonny was supposed to join the cast on stage to hash ... But if you go to this episode now and look for the description, it no longer exists. You get a 404 page, an error page, that it no longer exists. Okay? Nowhere does it exist. The only place it exists is on this front landing page for Rotten Tomatoes, and that's the only place that I was able to find what she's referring to in the live that we're about to go back to and watch. And another reason why we're going to go back to this live and watch it is because last night's reunion was a dud. It was a flop. It felt so overly like, why was Kimmy and Maurice trying so hard? Why was freaking Martell allowed to deflect from the facts that we know is reported? You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden the power couple is Letitia and freaking Marceau. Oh my God. So I'm like, woo. Anyway, so I was like, while I shared this live with us the other day, I was running around doing boss bitch shit, in the background, letting it play. And I didn't really have a chance to sit and listen to what the heck she was saying. So after watching last night's reunion, I'm like, that was whack. And it's nothing like the description. And the description can't be found. So they went back, chopped up a first reunion for us, and left a lot out because, look, Melody's telling us the truth. It must be the truth for this chop to be so swift and so messy. I said it last night. Do you guys agree? Was last night's freaking episode choppy or what? You know what I'm saying? So freaking choppy. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like the reunion part 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville was a flop and very choppy. Like it was just so bizarre. Nothing like the description. No, no, no. And rightfully so. Um, put a 5 in the chat if you think it was fire, if you think Kimmy ate, if you think freaking Martell was telling the truth, if you think the Scotts are the power couple to be, I need a 5 in the chat. I just want to see where people are at. And people, all opinions are welcome here. DEI friendly over here. Yes. Happy Black History Month. Shout out to Black History. Shout out to DEI. That's how the country even got here and let the colonizers in. They can't. The colonizers even got in on DEI, y'all. And now here they are flipping the script, talking about there's no DEI. The colonizers were the first beneficiaries of DEI upon American soil or most places in the world. But now they go around flipping the script, talking about you not supposed to be where you were born. You know, you got to just laugh at this shit. In the Bible, it even says, count it all joy. God is our source. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Yahweh. Okay, you guys. So back to Melody, because I feel like Melody gave us more than the reunion. And if you guys need me to slow this down, I did speed it up past 1. It's like on 1.25. But if you guys need me to slow it down any, then just put a 3 in the chat at any time and I'll put it to normal.
Okay. So that explains, this reaction for me explains why you guys feel comfortable to use this entire season of the show to downplay, to negate the facts, to run with things that, as you know, could have been true, could have not been true, but you didn't want to know the truth. And to build people up to think that maybe the other part was the truth. So everyone decided to have an opinion, but nobody decided to ask me what was what. Ain't that interesting? Then we get to finally another castmate coming out saying, "Oh, we've all known about this. It wasn't a secret. We all know. We've all seen the guys are saying this video and they say that." Right? Now we hear that. So then it becomes a bet. It becomes a bet. Because if they have been privy to and knew all along what the facts were, what the truths were, how is it that y'all had no problem spending your time together, acting as if you don't understand why there is a separation? Why you don't understand why there's no conversation? And speaking of conversation,
yeah, Jazzy.
I don't have a desire to converse with people who are actively, daily striving to destroy you.
The worst.
It does not matter who you are or what we created together in the past. I have no desire to do that. So it is not about my children. There is not a conversation to be had. So even that narrative, untrue. There is no, oh, Melody acts this way here, and then she acts this way. There's no Melody acts the same. Melody sits way over on another side, way over there, way over there, way over there. What are you talking about? So no, unlike a lot of the people here, I don't put on for the camera. And to be honest with you, I think that's part of the issue, is that I refuse to just put on for the camera. Well, I attempt to be cordial? Absolutely. Attempt to try to reconcile, depending on how far you've gone. That's the other. Depending on how far you've gone, how far you've taken it, and what true efforts you're giving. I'm open, depending on how far you've gone and what your efforts look like. Unfortunately, in this, what had been this situation for me, very few would be given the opportunity to be close to me. Okay? And so, there's no, for me, there is no, hey, I'm gonna be this way and then we'll be this way.
Oh, wow. Yeah, to become a member, it should be in the description.
Drop off.
Let me see if I can drop that for you. I appreciate you.
There's no conversation. But I get it. It fits the narrative, right? That Mel is just difficult and Mel is just fake and Mel's phony and Mel's this whole narrative that has been spewed into the minds of what were once castmates of mine by the producer. I'm gonna say producers. And that seems to be better than pushing things. You guys say there's never any reconciliation when it comes. You guys say there was never really any reconciliation when it came to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Do y'all think that people really wanted them to be? Production-wise? Because for me, I'm not on the outside looking in, I'm in. And what I'm going to say is, there was no desire for reconciliation amongst them. No desire. When you watch television and there is conflict, there's conflict, there's climax of the situation, and then there's a resolution, right? The resolutions never lasted because of the want to lose. Okay? I attempted to ease down the chaos. I mean, this season, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but I usually wouldn't even let people in my house. I'd be like, it was only a couple of people, but I would let them in my house. And they knew, because I would tell them, oh, these are the people right here, this person, this person, this person. They can come into my home. This is my sanctuary. This is my place of peace. They're welcome to my home. Yes. But that's it. This season, I opened it up a little bit more, did I not? I did. I opened it up a little bit more. Right? Again, these are your attempts at reconciliation and trying to move forward and trying to get everybody back to that positivity, black excellence, so to speak, that we like to talk about, that I think people don't even know the real definition of. And so, let's talk about that right there. Let's talk about it first. I see, I want to shout out some people I saw come in. I saw Ray and Jay come in here. I saw True T come in here. I saw Mr. Digress. I saw you come in here. Hey, welcome. Y'all share the live. And I'm gonna sit here and take this thing slow, because one thing that I've learned is some people lack comprehension skills, and they'll listen to something, and I have heard things that I said, and it became something totally different. I'm like, that's not what I said. What? Well, how do they run a title like this on their YouTube channel? That is not what I said. And so there are some people who do a great job, and there's some people who just
darn.
So I'm gonna make sure we all understand, and hopefully this will decrease.
Mamere, is that too fast? Should I slow it down? Her words. I can slow it down.
I have seen, and the first thing I'm going to show you guys is just the start of a number. Right here. The start of a number. Okay?
The start of the number was a 5-6 number. She's going to show us again. So this is where Melody is abolishing the fourth wall. These numbers have to do with production, y'all.
2, 5, 6, 7, 5, 5, and I'm not going to say the rest, the last four. The date of this call was July 19th. Y'all see July 19th? July 19th. Okay, y'all see it? 2, 5, 6, 7, 5, 5 at 1:34 p.m. Let me go over and show you how long the call lasted. Now remember, this is call number 2 on the screenshot from my Verizon phone bill, number 2. So let's go over and get to call number 2. That's 21 minutes. Okay? 21 minutes. Y'all see that? That's 21 minutes, okay? So there was a 21-minute phone call that happened. Now, let me show you guys this. So remember that, July 19th, 21 minutes.
So this is having to do with all that smoke that Kimmy had for Melody at the reunion and on the show. This is so that we can just clear up all that gaslighting right there, because that's not what's happening. Okay? What really happened is this 21-minute call on, what did she say, July 18th, 19th, to the 256 number in Huntsville, Alabama. That's what really happened. So all of this overacting, everybody wants to be in a Tubi movie thing, okay? Okay, Kimmy. And Kimmy is actually in a movie, I heard. She is in a movie. I think it is on Tubi too. Shout out to Tubi, giving everybody a shot.
And here is July. Can y'all see that? Don't say what it says. It's Friday, July 19th, scene 1 Melody, 11:30 a.m., 106 Jefferson. Let's look right here. And I'm going to bring it together for y'all. Because we got to do it right now. Here we go. Here we go. July 19th. 11:30 a.m., 106 Jefferson, right? So let's go to Google and put in 106 Jefferson. So if that call time was 11:30, and then I made a call at 1:30 something that lasted 21 minutes. I'm going to Google 106 Jefferson for you so y'all can see what 106 Jefferson is. I'll see, it looks a little familiar to me. Let's see. It looks familiar. Can y'all tell me what that area and location looks like to you guys?
That's the place she met with Kimmy.
It's Rooftop Restaurant in Huntsville, Alabama.
What space does this remind me of? Let me click a picture of it.
I don't know.
This is a rooftop bar at 106 Jefferson. KJ Taylor. So this is a rooftop bar. What does that look familiar? I'm looking for now. What does that look like? What is it? And y'all who've been watching, what does that look like?
Is it black?
Y'all got it right. Absolutely.
Bar 1?
So, y'all got it right. Hey, Miss Sarah.
Oh, that's where her and Kimmy had to sit down.
So a lot of y'all got it right. The one-on-one scene.
That was me reading the comments originally.
And when I first get here,
Oh no, there's two of me.
I don't really want to talk about the stuff they want us to talk about. I actually didn't want to talk about it when we went down here in my house. But let me tell you the task that was given to me. Hey, you heard about such and such? Yes, I heard about it. Everybody knows about it. Well, none of them want to talk about it. And we ain't going to be able to not talk about it. So we need you to try to get her to talk about it. Because we can't not talk about this thing. But look now, she don't want to talk about it now. I'll push a little bit, but I ain't pushing too much because I ain't doing it. But okay, I'll try. Great. So we had that here at the house. And if you notice, I tried to push this a little bit. When I saw it was a total shutdown on it, it was kind of like not going to go nowhere anywhere else. I'm like, okay, cool. So then we have a one-on-one scene where I just showed you guys. And I really didn't want to talk about it. I'm like, you don't want to talk about it. So I'm sitting here trying to be like, no, I'm not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. You said you don't want to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. Right? But then the conversation continues to happen. So what I showed you guys was a phone call that took place that day right after. And the one who doesn't want resolution and who's like bitter and mad and angry and fake and phony and all this stuff. I called Kimberly and I said, hey. So I just want to let you know, girl, I did not hear nothing about this stuff. No lipstick, no nothing. I said, you know, for this right, that's the situation. I did not hear. We talked for 21 minutes. Her response to me was, girl, I already know this for days. I said, girl, yes. I said, honestly, I didn't even try to do no drama for real. I wish we could get away from it. So we had a whole 20-something minute conversation. And I'm like, I don't care about it. They're making me ask about it, but I really don't care. But you asked me in this scene not to mention it again. And I said, I'm going to tell you what. You'll never have to worry about me again. And that's what it was. Conversation over. Ended well. No problem. No animosity. Nothing. See, that's how you get to resolution, right? As a cast. So that is why y'all then saw a scene after that where she was welcomed into my home.
So in the reunion, Melody kept saying, Kimmy, we talked about it. Maurice, we talked about it. all of that was over. Like, what is all of this? She said that last night. So this verifies to me that Melody is telling the truth about what happened, because the 21-minute call, along with what she said on the reunion last night to Kimmy about it was all squashed, this proves to me the squashness.
I just remember why this time. Because we had such a great combo, a 21-minute combo that I just showed y'all. So I'm like, she come back and said, oh, you know, I told the production, I said, you know what, I'm going to make my motel deal. I said, you just rub on me a little bit, go to them. And I kind of want some anyway, too, so I'm going to make some too. I made one too. Came to my home, we ate. She brought them home to me. And even in that, I'm going to be real with y'all. I literally don't even be that mad at people. I know we got to have conversations with somebody's got to tell it. I don't even be tripping on it like that. But it makes it interesting to me when I see a title of Melody is addressed about her double standard. I've never told anybody on this show not to bring social media to me. Never. Ever. I've never done it. So if you want to say a double standard would be me saying, hey, don't bring social media stuff to me, and then I bring social media stuff to you. That's a double standard. I've never told people what not to talk about when it came to me. Never. Now, there was some conversations amongst our folks, but I never said what not to talk about when it came, because I always felt like if I'm going to do reality TV, I want it to be real. I want it to be real. I want it to be authentic, because the audience can feel when things are real and when they're not. They can feel it. You can tell, and that's what makes things not make sense. Whenever 1 minute people are about to fight, and then the next week they're all sitting up in a crowd together, bunched up like a bunch of peanuts in a bag. That's when it becomes to the point where we're no longer doing reality TV. And now you are trying to maybe just be actors and actresses. And when I want to do that, I go learn a real script for a movie. I don't come to reality TV to do that. So I'm a little different when it comes to that. And again, I think that's some of the issue, but that's fine. Comes in, we eat, have a conversation. Actually, when the cameras go down, we actually stay longer. Now, I have cameras up here in the room, because we stay in my sunroom. So y'all know the little area where you can, I'm showing y'all before you kind of look outside and see my backyard and see the trees and all that. But that's my sunroom area. I have chairs there. We kind of sat in there and talked for a while. Just me and Kim. Cameras go. We just chilling, keeping talking. None. That's why after that, you then see us at the bachelorette party. No problem. See you at the vow renewal. I know people. As a matter of fact, at the vow renewal, at the reception part, when I sat at the table, because I had a name tag on my table, Tisha, Marcel, Kimmy, Maurice, they all came and sat at the table. We were all talking. We were talking about the kids and almost being teenagers and all this stuff. Having just good, positive conversation. There was no drama being had. Just talking and chatting it up. Then, of course, I left when I felt like a boundary was crossed that I had already shared with production that wouldn't be okay with me. So then I gracefully left. I didn't make a scene. I'm not going to go off and blow up. None of that. I gracefully, like the lady I am, got up, went over to Miss Nell and them. A part y'all didn't see is that when I told her I was about to go, she called her photographer that they had paid to take pictures. Hey, Melody's like, look, call me and take some pictures. But I took some pictures with them. These are pictures. And I left. No big deal for me.
But on the episode, on the finale, episode 29, when Nell did her vows, renewed her vows to Chris, and they cut it up to look like she was all sitting like that by herself, and then all the confessionals also furthered a narrative of separation. Melody doesn't play nice. And then when they were at the reception, she's saying they were chopping it up and it's all on film. And instead, what we see is like awkward silence. And then Martell bring a chair over, and it looks like Melody just gets up and walks out and doesn't even say anything to Nell. And then even Nell putting 10 on it, didn't Nell have something to say about, oh, she's just going to walk out? Like, didn't Nell have something to say? But come to find out, Nell was like, oh, she's leaving. Let's take some more pictures. You know what I mean? So it's all fake fugazi to create a narrative about Melody on camera so that the viewers follow a narrative that's fake. Fakey McFakerson's happening over here, okay?
At all. And so at that point, no, and that's another thing. No, there was no violation of a protective order. That's another thing I noticed too. A lot of people think they know every single in and out of what is taking place for equal documents. And some of the stuff y'all be saying that was active at the time, or this was this at the time, y'all had all wrong. But that's another conversation for another day. So anyway, another conversation for another day. So it was literally me having that boundary in place myself. Me, just know that. Me. Okay. So I left, no biggie, nothing about it. Okay. Nothing about it. And I dipped out. I dipped out because when I ran up there to tell them about it, and this nail motion with the photographer comes in pictures, they said try to run up there too. It was all up in my face, and I was like, okay. And I got out of here. Dipped on out, right? So that was that. But there was no order in place at that time. It was at that time. It was my number that I set for myself. And I've learned that a lot of people don't do well with boundaries, and they're not good at sticking to the boundaries, and whatever. And so they don't understand. So when we get to the clips y'all have seen for the reunion, considering that I've had conversation, it's been understood why these questions are being asked, but I really don't care. We have a great conversation about it. I've already met with Maurice. We hashed it out, apologized to each other, and I told him in the scene, I said, well, Maurice, I don't know the air, y'all can tell me because I don't know it, but I told him in the scene, I said, well, listen, Kim already mentioned she would like for me not to talk about it again. I said, and I'm going to tell you like I told her, because you ain't got to worry about me talking about it anymore. That's it. And I never brought it up since. And if you think about it, the only people that I had the conversation or asked questions with was when the cameras was up filming. Nobody else I talked to on an everyday basis was I discussing some lipstick. Because I didn't really care. Okay? But I guess maybe production understands that they have more than one family on the show and they can stick together and choose not to talk about nothing. So then they got to see who can they get to ask the questions. That's fine. Right? So Maurice and I, who called, collected, makeup, apologies, we could. And he even understood. I said, maybe because you're around me, but there's a person in the room that I don't fool with, so maybe that's why you don't get the nice Melody, because the image is already messed up. And he says, you know what, Mel? Don't know if they have it or not, but in the real scene, he says, you're right, I feel you. Because I haven't been around you, like, without that. Because the only time y'all been around me is with filming. Usually everybody's there. So that was that. You know what I'm saying? I'm emotional Melody that happened and came. I text Kimmy, and by the way, I also text Kimmy when I was digress. I know there was a conversation about nobody reached out. There was a conversation about that nobody reached out. I think but one or two people on the show. Do y'all want to see that text message? Because I text.
Yeah, I want to see.
Kimberly and checked on her for sure. Because again, like I said, I understand how stuff like that as a woman can be a lot because we do hear it a lot. Yes, she said that. Oh, she did say that. So let me go ahead and hold on. Let me screenshot this text for y'all. So y'all gonna have to hold on because it's gonna pause. I'm gonna screenshot it to this phone. I'm gonna show you guys.
So now she's gonna screenshot it to her phone, and we're gonna be able to see what the kind of bullshit production and the Scotts are on, just in order to position the Scotts over Melody and run this narrative that Melody wants to see everybody divorced and is attacking their marriages or whatever this BS is. And she's showing us with proof, timelines, and receipts that they're on some bullshit, okay? And the facts are production had her talk to Kimmy about the lipstick. The facts are that even outside of that scene, her and Kimmy and Maurice all had the understanding that it was squashed. And so all of that Kimmy ate at the reunion is BS. Here you guys go.
But I will show you my text. June said, can y'all see that? Right there, June said, can I read it?
Okay, so what's this say? Where are my glasses? I was in here doing my yoga while we're watching this. So this says, "Hey Kimmy girls," because the top says Kimmy. "Hey Kimmy girl, this is Mel. Um, Carlos King on you, as I'm sure it's it's been a lot. So just checking on you. Seriously, something. Um, hey, something. I'm good. Have a great week. Sorry I missed your call." That's all I can make out backwards like that right now. It's kind of looking Russian.
At 5:47 p.m. That's what it is. Hey Kimmy, this is Mel. Checking on you, as I'm sure it's been a lot. So just checking on you, sending prayers. She wrote me back at 10 p.m. Hey chick, I'm good. Appreciate you checking. Have a great week. August 3rd, I called her to invite her to the most with Melody. She said, "Sorry, I missed your call. I'll be there." I said, "Hey, okay. I figured you might have been busy. It's for men and women." So I was inviting Maurice too. Let me know so I can have y'all spot. She said, "No problem. I'll tell him." Again,
Smash that like button, you guys. Ring my bell. Thanks for coming in Larger Curves today. This is exclusive tea.
I text her and said, "Hi, Kimmy and Maurice. Thank you both for coming out on Saturday. Hope you enjoyed yourselves." It's right here, August 13th. Hope you enjoyed. They came to my mimosas with Melody again. I also sent her this video. She was a 1 millimeters, and my photographer, I think Freddie O, captured this, and I could just tell in this video that there was a moment those two had. I didn't know what it was, but I could tell there was some kind of moment, so I sent it to her. Like they were hugging, and it was something. I just knew it was something. And anyway, she ended up telling me that the lady was a survivor of cancer, and so yeah, they did have a moment, and I sent it to her. And then I sent her this picture from my photographer. I didn't have to. I sent this to them. I said, "Just going through all the pieces of videos now. We'll send you some throughout the next 2 days." That's me. That's what I said right there. Send her back. Freddie notes it. She said, "Good morning. Thanks, Mel." I said, "Good morning. Y'all look so nice." That's me right there. "Good morning. Y'all look so nice." She said, "Thanks." Right? She said, "Yeah, the pics came out really nice. That lady I hugged in the video was a 30-year breast cancer survivor." That's her right there. She said the lady was a 30-year breast cancer survivor. So again, here we are talking. There are no issues. I think this, what? Okay. Then we get to October. Nothing happens in between that, just the Valley was the finale. I was sitting at the table, they came to the table, all talking about kids and stuff, all good, nothing happens. And for one, I thank God for my team, because my team is like, they're not about to let me cut a fool over and get out of character, because I got too much going on, too much at stake. They gonna prep talk me every time. Hey, listen. You go ahead and keep your calm now. Don't let nobody come. They may come. Don't let nobody come for you. And don't get you out of character. I'm like, all right. I was like, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not. So then we get there on the stage, and there's this whole different energy. It's totally different. I ain't gonna lie. If I can be honest with y'all, it shocked me, and it's really sad. It's super, super sad, to be absolutely honest. It's very sad. That's all I say. It's very sad. And I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to all of this Islam that's coming out with somebody who, and this is why, again, I say y'all don't ever see any resolution. Because people put batteries in people's backs because they don't really want resolution. They don't really want resolution. How beautiful would it have been to have kept the real, like the real is what the combos is happening on these phones, the real? How beautiful would it have been to have kept the real, and y'all have been able to see, you know what, all that happened this season, but man, look, let's go. Like, that's straight.
Would have been Black excellence.
The real.
But no.
So instead, we got all this rah-rah. And I'm not, this is really rah-rah. I'm saying right now, I'm not going to be rah-rah, folks. I'm not doing it. Did I run off any stage crying? No. Did I shed a tear on the stage? No. Did I almost shed a tear on the stage? No. I don't know where that moment came from either. But I'm definitely not going to be rah-rah. I'm still gonna be respectful. I'm gonna keep my composure. I'm gonna smile to keep my composure to make sure I say okay. But to see how it went from that resolution to one moment, that's crazy. And I'm telling you, I remember going back to my team from the stage, and the one word I kept saying was delusional. Delusional.
Delusional.
These folks delusional. So I say, they delusional. Oh my gosh. How do we have conversations and there's resolution and then you get up here and act a different way? Totally different. And again, I say that is why there is no, y'all don't get this resolution. It's not because, oh, Melody likes to keep up this and Melody likes to do that. No, it's because you got some people who want promotions, more checks, or whatever the case may be, who are choosing to try to keep a mess. Like, who are choosing to, I need to have an issue with them on camera, who are choosing to do that. Because there's also a recording of someone on this show being told that they're not, because I inquired when they're going to a scene, being told that they are on ice. And if you're in TV on ice means like you're not couldn't do nothing right now. That they're on ice is clocking, in other words. That they're on ice because they appear to be a male supporter and a Melody supporter. Now my team thought I was gonna quit that day. Because we all heard it. And they thought I was gonna quit that day. Because then it became, you know how when you're thinking something and you kind of think you know something, but then it's kind of deep whenever you really hear it. Like, you really hear it, that becomes a whole different thing. That becomes a whole different thing. Just like how you might be like, I think my man cheating. But then if you see your man cheating or you see your woman cheating, it's a whole different thing. And now I've been sitting back and I see it and it all just makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So why there was so much energy from Kimberly, I really can't tell y'all. I'm not going to come back here and address it again because I don't have anything, I can't tell you. I don't have anything that I can say about it. I can say that when she was going through her situation with cancer, I would check on her. I would send, and this is not just filming. I know y'all saw me go to her house one day with some white roses or something. We were filming the scene, she and I. But I sent flowers outside of camera. It wasn't just about camera time for me. See, this is when you talk about people not maybe being able to see eye and eye, but we know when to show up and pull up for each other, right? Period. So I sent flowers just because I'm like, let me put a smile on her because she probably, she's got a lot she's going through. I've had paid to have a meal made and sent over. I think we ended up talking about it on the That wasn't filmed. That wasn't nothing. I didn't post it out. It wasn't, it was just me trying to be a kind person. Because again, even though we ain't kicking it and hanging like we used to, if there was ever what you would have considered a real friendship, you show up for each other. You show up for each other. Now, if you ask me, has she ever showed up for me? No. 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 Even when it came to the party, the cancer party thing we did for the show, her being cancer, whenever we had the conversation in production, I was like, I've been wanting to do something. I was going to set up like a massage. I told them I want to set up like a massage thing or whatever. And I think they said, well, Tisha was doing some kind of massage something. So, something else. But that was real. That was real. And so, yeah. But can I say that there's been a show up for me? No. And I don't let it get to me too bad because one thing I know is it's not where you sow. You don't reap where you sow. You reap what you sow. So at the end of the day, God's still sending the right people in my life to show me and give me and reciprocate, right? So it's all good. Let's talk about Trish. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? Oh, let me get some of my great juice, baby. We're taking this thing slow and slow and low because I need y'all to know the facts and I need y'all to comprehend and understand.
So now she's going to get to Trish, muscles.
Never heard of her. Didn't know anything about her. Love you too, ladies. Didn't know anything about her. So no reason to have a problem with her. The first time I heard of issue, or not even issue, but the conspiracy stuff, was on girl trip. Had never heard about it before. Nobody was saying anything about it. So I sat there and listened. And I really was like, and that's why I just sat there and listened. Because I didn't care. I didn't care. I felt like whatever happened after I left April 4th, 2020, I don't care. I don't care. So I sat there with no expression because I didn't care. just want you to know these are some conversations happening amongst this group. I know you invited them. As a matter of fact, the night I invited people on the trip at the food tasting, I actually was kind of defending her again, if you remember. I don't know if y'all remember that scene. I was kind of defending them. So I mean, I didn't care. But could there have been a hey girl, just a heads up? This is what's going on. Nothing happened or something didn't happen, but it was this time. I don't want no beef. Let's just be cool. All right, that didn't happen. Could that have happened? Yeah, but other than that, I don't see it. So let's get to the scene when she's questioned. Because I'm gonna get this out today. I'm not doing this every day at all. So the girl still happens. She left early. Let me ask y'all this because I don't know if it aired or not. Did y'all see a scene where Trish and I met up after the girls trip at a bakery shop? Did y'all see that? Drop it in the chat. Let me pull my receipt while y'all drop it in the chat. Did y'all see the scene at all when me and Trish met up at a bakery shop after the girls trip, like right after the girls trip?
Well, we saw them meet someplace to eat something.
I had a really girl. If I can be real with y'all, at Dale's party, the person who asked the most questions was me. I asked a couple, but I didn't know her. So, and I didn't even know the whole scandal part of it, so I didn't know. So they did air me and Trish at the bakery shop. Oh, okay, good. But I got to show y'all the receipts. So at that scene, don't know what all they showed. But when she tried to even bring up my ex, I said, girl, I hope they showed you. I was like, girl, that's my favorite girl. We ain't got to talk about that. She asked me some advice of going from corporate and being an entrepreneur and wanting to open this gym and balancing that all and being a mommy with busy kids, doing this, that, and the other. It was a whole conversation. And I gave her some advice. And when she tried to get into the X of it all, I was like, girl, we got to that's cool. Not have something about that. Girl, no. I don't know if y'all are talking about the scene I'm talking about. Not the one where I questioned her about my house and what it looked like. Not that one. Ooh, this might be good. Because I see somebody just said something that made me think about that one. I'm not talking about that one. Have you guys seen two scenes with Trish and I by ourselves? Two. At a bakery shop.
We only saw the one where she was questioning.
They just told one about me asking about the house. So see, y'all didn't get the bakery scene. Oh, let's go to it. See, now we get somewhere. So y'all didn't see that one. You see the scandal of it all, the painting of the picture of it all.
The narrative that's being written and driven.
So y'all didn't see that one. Only one. No, there was one before that one. Guys, right after the trip. Let's go right here. So this one was. Y'all know the girls trip was in March. This was April the 5th. Friday, April 5th, Melody, call time 4:30. The location is the Moon Bake Shop. Let's pull it up. Y'all can tell me if y'all saw it. The Moon Bake Shop. So y'all didn't see that one? Dang. Wow, they wanted it to be a problem with me. I'm so bad, dude. Dang. Maybe because I didn't give a Carrie the scene. I was like, girl, Girl, I do not care about that. So maybe they ain't like that. So the Moon Bake Shop, here's what it looks like. The Moon Bake Shop. I had never been there before, actually. I've seen it downtown, but I haven't been there. I was like, pretty cool. It is.
I don't remember that scene. I don't know.
This is what it looks like on the inside. See that? Did y'all see that? That's what it looks like on the inside.
I don't remember that scene.
Oh, y'all didn't see that. Okay, so let's talk about it. So the day was April 5th. Y'all know when the girls trip in March. So right after the girls trip, like I said, I had a mimosa with Melody in Atlanta. I want to say it was March 30th or 31st. I did a mimosa with Melody. And next week I had this. This scene, I was cool, good. She tried to bring up the situation with my ex. I said, girl, I don't care nothing about that. Girl, you ain't got to explain that to me. Yes, I don't care. That's my ex. I do not care, okay? Gave her some advice. She asked me about balancing and being a mom and all that. Like I just told y'all, all that. Gave her some advice. And hey, I said, I see you. And so, anyway, did that. Scene was fine. And then I had another scene after that where it was look, we can't seem to get the truth out of this girl. Because again, let's be clear, I'm one of the strongest characters on the show. Actually, I'll say I'm the strongest character on the show. I have been for a long time. So, we can't seem to get full answers. This time frame is just, we're getting different things. Can you try to get the facts? I was like, okay, sure, that's fine. Sure. So sitting there smiling and asking questions. So what color was it? So at nighttime, so did it mean a deer? You said I almost hit a deer. Oh, deer come out at night, girl. It must have been nighttime. What about the driveway? Was it a long driveway? Was it a steep driveway? Well, what road did you go down? I mean, listen, I ain't gonna lie, it was funny to me. I'm not gonna lie. When I finished that scene, baby, I was cracking up the whole way to where I went to eat after. That's usually what I'm gonna do after sing. I'm gonna eat food. But literally, it was like, I already had a scene where I didn't want to talk about it. Just didn't care at the moment, shop. But typically, they do go to the strongest people. You can ask any if you have friends or you know people on reality TV acts, so they go to the strongest person to get the answers to stuff they can't get the answers from nobody else. Just how it goes. It's what happens when you're the reality TV queen. Right? So, all right, I'm going to have some fun with this girl. Y'all ask these questions. So, girl, what color was the house? Which house was that? Oh, that was the lighthouse or dark house? Did you go up by the hospital? No, not really. Okay. Well, how was the driveway? Okay. And I'm smiling like, because I'm giving y'all what y'all want. Y'all want some facts? You want to know what the time frame is saying? Let me help y'all out since y'all need my help. Never press about what or who happened after I left. Never. It's like you saw the no face when it came to the girl show that came out. You saw, well, they didn't show yet me at the movie bakery.
Okay, you guys, so it must be an hour. And you know how Instagram be kicking us off after an hour. Let me come back. She said she was gonna be, she said she was, so I do suspect she will come back live any moment. Let's see what we can get at. Thanks for coming through the LRGA Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the bell on your way in. Here she is. Melody Rodgers is back in the building, y'all, getting us straight on what really happened.
Never press.
Are you guys getting this? Is she back on your screen? Can you hear her? Okay, she's back for you guys. Thanks, Designs and Decor, for helping us with this. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Let me get this back. I don't know what happened. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thanks for coming through. Let's go.
Never press.
Let me make sure this is gonna play through. I might have to refresh my Instagram.
It's like you saw the no face when it came to the girl show that came out. You saw, well, they didn't show yet me at the movie bakery. I'll try. You know, I'm like, I'll try. That's kind of being the team player of a reality TV show.
Okay, we're gonna do this right here.
So I would never, ever let anybody try to hang out to me. You know, I'm like, I'm not a problem. I'll try to make it happen. That's kind of being the team player of a reality TV show.
There we go, you guys.
So I would never, ever let anybody try to push me out.
When in doubt, refresh. Get these likes up. Like. Share. She has her red phone out, you guys. She's breaking the fifth wall, the fourth wall.
So that was the whole issue. Now, whenever the situation and conversation happened with me and I hear my home myself, I told her then that at first I don't know where to have a problem with her.
Right on. Thanks for liking the video.
So then that happened. But remember, I went to the barbecue. And what's interesting to me again, they decided to title one of the
Decor,
episodes.
will you be my moderator, please? I just made you a mod for this session because you are really doing the thing. Thanks a lot. Next time you say something, you'll have a blue wrench. I appreciate you.
So at the bachelorette party, it became I was messy when I said, y'all act like y'all still love each other. I think y'all might still love each other. How that was so messy. But let's rewind. And y'all tell me if y'all saw this in our play. Because remember I told you I didn't watch no episodes this season, so I don't know. I may don't know. I didn't watch it. But y'all tell me if this here or not. Y'all can tell me if this here or not. At the barbecue, I went in to go to the little area kissing the plate. And Trish ends up in there, my cast is in walks in and there's this whole weird exchange between them, and I'm just looking, I'm like, ooh, triggers, seem like a trigger right now. Oh, and I'm eating, got my butt beat, so just eating and doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, in that room where the food was, Trish says to me, out the blue, so it becomes interesting when people say that me saying that was so messy because this happened before I ever said it. Seemed like I was still loving something. Trish out the blue says to me, I know your ex-baby. I know your ex-baby mom. And she said, the girl's name. And I looked and I was like, okay. Yeah, and I can't remember if she said that Ken is from Ohio or I don't think she said I'm from Ohio. Either Ken's from Ohio. Did they show that? When she said that to me? Yeah, what I'm gonna do is out the blue she says this to me. And I was like, I don't know if she's supposed to be putting me on the spot or she's supposed to be whatever. I don't know. And I was like, okay, all right. So later, you got a big problem because I said it seemed like I was still loving you. Now that's a double standard to me. When you feel like you can kind of throw some stuff out there and be shady, but you don't want nobody to be in the game and play with you. So I don't remember who. I don't think because I think Trish went to high school here. So unless Trish moved here from Ohio at some point, again I don't know these people, right? So unless he moved here at some point, or she moved here at some point, or Ken, I don't know. She says to me, out the blue, on the camera, in that room where the food is, that she knows, his friends knows something. She said knows your ex's baby mom. And she said the girl name. Maybe that's why you didn't hear it because she said the girl name. And I was like, okay. And she either said she was from there or he Ken is from there. I'm like, okay. So we all got mutual friends and I said, okay. No big deal. So what? Right? I was like, okay. But then you got all this smoke because I said it seemed like I still love each other. But now I'm just so messy and I'm so and that is why y'all at the bachelorette. I think it's like, well, if I'm messy, everybody in here is messy. Everybody in here is messy. It's like, what? You want to bring up a mistress from my prior marriage talking about you know her out the blue and y'all from the same spot or your boyfriend from the same spot, whatever it was. But I'm messy, girl. Everybody messy. Everybody messy. So that is how that happened. Y'all didn't hear that? Oh, like I said, maybe because she said the girl's name, she definitely said her name. And so maybe that's why I didn't hear it. But anyway. So for me, when it comes to Trish, I feel like she has also unfortunately become, it's funny, I guess somebody said puppet. One of the puppets, flying monkeys for the puppeteer. Okay? Because there is no reason for us to have anything going on. And I didn't make it one. I tried not to make it one. At the table on the grocery, I just sat there like, okay. Met with you after that, gave you some advice, told you, girl, you gotta explain that to me. You gotta bring them up. You good? No. You know what I'm saying? So try not to make it. But I guess that you wanted it to be a thing. And you fell for that. Like so many. So there's the Trish thing, y'all. Since then, let me see, the vow renewal, I don't even think she and I talked at all at vow renewal. And then at the reunion, neither, honestly. So I haven't talked to her since. And I probably never talked to her since again, so that's amazing. So that's that situation. that is that situation. So God bless her. And then of course I don't know Ken at all. I don't and honestly, she didn't want to come to my house, she didn't have to come. I just she knows I'm particular about people I allow to come to my home. They know that. And I'm particular about who I allow to come to my events. So if I say yes, this person is invited, this person is that's because I don't have a problem with you. For me, I don't. Like I'm pretty good. I may not look at you fully all the way, but for the most part, you can come to this, you know. So I said, yeah, Ken and Trish, of course they can come. Again, I'm not seeing or knowing all of these different conversations that are happening. So I didn't think that was an issue. So they came to the Muslim hell, and even that, there was no drama or beef. So anyway, no drama or beef with her every day. Anyway, not with me anyway. So there's that. Now, let's get into the last thing that I'm going to get to. I met Destiny in 2018 at the end of the year. I only met her because that is why / how I met her. Okay. 2018, did another year. And then 2019 has to be when they got married because I remember I was supposed to be in the wedding, but I was pregnant with Sugar Mama. I was pregnant with Sugar Mama. And I remember just had on this white dress with the split in front, and I just didn't, I don't walk down no aisle, child. No. But 2019 up until that wedding, I hadn't been around her that much, but anytime I had been around her, it was always couples. Meaning it was her and LB, me and Martell, or her and LB, me, Martell, Mel, and Chris. You know, like, because we would host stuff all the time. We gonna barbecue. I'm gonna cook. I love cooking. I'm gonna cook. You know what I'm saying? And people would come over or whatever, right? And so I never hung out with her privately or without a couple situation where we're all there. And again, she was engaged, getting married to Martell's best friend. Like, oh, cool, hey, oh yeah, hey, you need to be on the show. But she didn't even live in Huntsville. She was still living in Nashville. I'm in Huntsville with 2 children, pregnant with 1, and a husband, and businesses, and filming a news thing in life, filming a reality TV show. I never went up there to hang out with her. She never came down here just to hang out with me. No. So then, my baby shower for Sugar Mama. Let me be clear, I planned my entire baby shower and did all that stuff. But I made her a whole baby shower for airtime. For screen time, because it was being filmed, right? So, yeah, I literally didn't even have to do that because everything, there was nothing they had to buy. There was nothing they had to, I looked over some internet. I did the plan. I'm sure I had somebody help me, but I was definitely, I made sure like it was, I just gave the title of host to this for airtime. Because that's what I do. People come to me to want to be on the show, and I try to help them get on the show. So that's always so beautiful. So beautiful. You go back to Sugar Mama's baby shower. It was so beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful. I think y'all did too. It was beautiful. That's all I'm saying. And so baby shower, I had Sugar Mama in December 20th. And then COVID happened. So I was a new mom again with a new baby. People were dying by the thousands every day. And so I wasn't going out nowhere. I was scared. Didn't want to risk my children. We actually pulled our kids out of school before the schools closed down. Because it was just like, duh, like, there's this virus happening, people are dying. Why are kids going to school? Why? For what? No. So we pulled our kids out before they shut schools down. That's how much it was like a big thing for me. Like a big thing for me. So I wasn't hanging out with nobody because I was in the house with my new baby, trying to make sure my baby lives. Hell, make sure we all live. Okay? So then April 2020, I left. Took out. No. Was at my mom's. Was in high school maybe for about 3 weeks. And then I was at my brother's. But at that point, there was like, there was no interaction for real with me and my ex anymore at all. Very, very little. Definitely weren't hanging out with no couples. Wasn't going out to dinner. I remember May of 2020. It was Mother's Day weekend, and he begged, please, if kids want to take you to the beach, let's just go. I know we ain't together, nothing being, but just let's just go and let's go take you to the beach, blah, blah, blah. So I did go to the beach, and that was the last thing we looked until Destin on the show. To Destin on the show, right? So after that, 2020, we're in 2020 now. I end up coming back to Huntsville because I remember I was at my brother's when I did they had me host girlfriend shaking on me. And I remember I was at my brother's and then my mother. And then August I came and did Behind the Demand. So I did Behind the Demand in Huntsville. So I didn't go back to Huntsville until like August of 2020. There's no sound. I don't know why I haven't touched the sound. This was a whole different phone too. So that was August of 2020. And I see y'all said walk us down. I am. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, because y'all heard the ringtone. Okay, exactly. And so yeah, y'all heard the ringtone. Anyway, She wasn't even on my set at any time, but behind every man, and I feel bad for her. Now, I would have been like, girl, come over here, watch me work, because I'm doing this, da 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 da. No, not one time. So that was August 2020. We started back filming Love and Marriage Huntsville shortly thereafter. Then we get into, we get into 2021 pretty much. Now, I was on that redeeming stage, so y'all know I know all the conversations that took place, right? Y'all know that. I was here, so I know all the conversations. What I would say is the problem, or I guess what.
Oh, you're welcome, Alicia. No worries.
The problem when it comes to this production is what I said earlier: the lack of due diligence, the lack of understanding that before you say certain things or allow certain things to be stated or written up, they verify those things, and that has not happened. So when you type up words that are buzzwords, that are damaging words, and you have no proof of that, because it's not you. So you have no proof of that, you didn't do your due diligence on that, and you didn't leave that shit on the editing floor. And then you also wrote up a synopsis and put it in writing. You a fool. I'll call you. I'll tell y'all all y'all fools. Y'all some fools. But I appreciate it, but y'all some fools. So, anyway.
They're fools.
We go through 2020. I get sense of messages. Let's get into 2021. Okay? Now remember 2021, October reunion 2021 was when she got on the stage. It was like I hadn't talked to her, so I don't know where our friendship lies. So what I'm trying to understand is, when could we, so you're saying your husband's best friend and his wife wanted you, and all this while you was with your husband, like, what? I'm sorry, but what? What? Now that's what you're saying? Because I wasn't around much telling anyone for real after, except filming, but after 2020, after I left. So when? This is insane. Because I'm sure when you married, you would have been like, oh my gosh, so you really not with him today. Let me tell you, OB, I just really felt like, what? I know what you would have probably done as a wife, because you met us through him. That was your husband. I didn't know you. I met you through LB. So I would think that if there was a situation where you felt something, you'd be like, LB, I don't think you gonna come here anymore. I feel like you're trying to get me. Oh, they want me. What? And then after that, you never would have been able to be alone with me on myself and all anyway, because I wouldn't talk to him. After April 2020, I was talking to someone who was on the scene. On the scene or a kid. So when? But I ain't coming too hard for you right now. I'm coming hard for the people who type that shit up. And all the people, every one of you who laid eyes on that and approved for that to be put in a type as a synopsis of an episode. That's what I'm doing. That right there. That right there. Like I told y'all before, we can talk about the puppets all day. We don't go for the puppets here. Period. Because you had the way you cut me and Tristan at the Moon Bakery was the same way you could have cut Davis out. Because you don't have no proof. Now you feel to do your due diligence. And you got this written up. You think I'm living my legacy for 20 something? Oh, it's some bullshit? Nah. Not gonna flow. You're not gonna flow. So, the reunion was in October. Okay. Of 2021. When the girl said she can't get in touch with me, I don't know what our friendship like because of that. Now, I just want to know. I'm going to read some text real fast, y'all. Just so y'all know, this is her name. I need y'all to see that. Right here. Yes. That's what's up at the top. Y'all see it? Yes. Because, see, I've been through enough. My family been through enough. My kids been through enough. And still, y'all have said real silent mouth when it came to me and my family, my children, my mother. Y'all been real silent mouth. Okay? They're real silent. They had nothing to say about no opinion, no straightening out of anything. But when it comes to other folks, you want to speak up. Okay. Thank you. So, hey Mel, I was trying to get the details on the show, wanted to drive down, just trying to time it out and see what the location was. This is when I was about to perform. I Spring Birmingham. What time do you go on? I didn't respond. Then August 17th, where's my mellow? I didn't respond. August 18th, send your hugs and kisses. Can't wait to see this video. Let the haters keep hating. At least you're doing it. They have no clue what it takes. Love you, but keep on pushing like I know you will. So I wrote her, hey, chick morning. Girl, I'm good. I'm not worried about this. Those blessings keep coming my way. And keep watching from the website lines. This is real sex like I'm reading. Okay, this was July 31st, 2020. I'll be there before 2. Some council on me last minute, and I have to take him to a consider action. They go, okay, cool beans. Drop him off now. Unloading his things. I'm 3 minutes in a row. Okay, we are leaving until 2:15. I'm here. Do I have time to grab something to eat? I have food being provided on the RV. Just out. So she wanted to ride with me in my RV to a performance I had to do. That was in, I think, Tuscumbia. Alabama, I think it was Tuscumbia. I don't know. This is July of 2021. June 29th, I got to text you. Good luck. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. How you doing? I'm tired about the shower and lay it down. Here's me. Oh, we are in Nashville. Went to the mall and just checked into the hotel. We're getting the indoor water park tomorrow. Then I'll be back Thursday about 1 for testing. Because we have to COVID testing. Okay, y'all be safe and have fun. Next time, let me and Mom come. Let me and Mom come. Or no. Let me and Mom know. We may head down. He loves water. This is June 2021. So I'm reading back to say this. Oh, I got another one I did. But I switched out. September 12th, 2021. We need some girl time, Missy. September 17th, 2021. I guess I have to stop your ass to see because I ain't responded. What, 5 days went by? I never responded. September 17th, 2021. I wrote her back finally, said, hey, I was so busy, and then now I'm on this girl's trip. Definitely when I get back. She said, okay, boo, I just missed you. I said, I had a kids last week, everyone was sick. Then also trying to get the house together, it was just a lot going on, girl. She said, I understand, I had a few rough days, blah, 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 blah. I said, I would take to it all time. Now, again, I'm sharing that to say, do that sound in any shape, form, or fashion of like anybody who has been a victim of grooming? Because why do you want you and your son to go with my kids to a water park if I have inappropriately punished? Or if you want to say, what? I have watched your child for you while you got beside you because your spirit counts. And I'm like, girl, you enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. I'll drive around the neighborhood and just go in circles if I need to so you can get your massage. Like, don't cancel. Get your me time. Don't cancel. Okay? Or the few times you have mixed my house, we weren't hanging out every day. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I always work hard. I'm just not going to hang out with nobody every day. I just can't do it. I don't like to do it. My brother told me when I was in his house the other day, he told me I'm a loner. He said, you a loner is what you are. I said, you think so? He said, mm-hmm. And he said, but I'm a loner a lot of times too. But yes, girl, you're a loner. I said, well, you think it's because I do this all the time so I don't meet a lot of people or something? Because I just, I get good. I like to have fun and then I like to be by myself. He was like, girl, you a loner. So I'm never that, I'm not going to hang out with nobody a whole bunch. Just not. I got stuff I'm doing. I'm busy, I got kids, I got goals. And that takes work to reach those goals. So, but there's been times when I've had events here and my friends are here, including my best friend Brittany. And y'all are outside having fun, and I'm trying to give you a break because you going through your stuff, and I'll sit here and watch my for you. What are you going through? Go laugh, go talk. But now you want to say somebody was grooming. And while that's disappointing, it's not surprising because I told y'all in the beginning the one word I had being on that stage was delusional. It was delusional. It was delusional. My biggest problem though was that the production team decided to not tap it on the head before.
It's 11/11. Happy 11/11, everybody.
See, just because I sit over here, y'all, and I continue to excel, I continue to stay on business and do my thing, I continue to remain positive. Don't think that there are things going on that I'm not going to or understand as to why it's going on. Because I see it all. First of all, I'm dreaming. So you're not going to get too much past me because I've taken some time now to elevate even more than that in my gift. You're not going to get too much past me.
She's talking about everybody.
Okay? So, and I've had a different dream since I was a kid. And it's just even more, it's elevated, it's amplified. That's what I'm saying. So, when I look at how, as a lead, I have definitely had my share of the attacks. I can't think of one person who has stood up, and now I get it. It was scared to stand up, I guess, because of all the secrets known on each other. But there's not been a lot of standing up for what's right. Now we're talking. People are saying things because they're doing this. It's too late. I don't care what you got to say now. It's too late. When it mattered, you were silent. When you could have said something, you were silent. But you chose to allow this single mother who was a damn good wife, who walked away from a cheating husband, to be attacked and made to look as if it was her. When you knew the facts all along, could never respect it. But see, even with everything that's been going on, I still maintain a certain level of, maybe it's my heart, I don't know, but when I get a phone call or text, hey, I need some advice when I talk to this to someone who needs to. Yep, give me a call. I still got on the phone with you. Gave you some advice. Still heard what you had going on and gave you some advice. And to this day, they shared what the conversation was about. And I won't. And I won't. Because you asked me. And I won't. Not a problem. But y'all sit silent and chose to double down on your attacks. Knowing it wasn't right. Knowing it wasn't right. Knowing all the stuff you already knew. That was real. So, there's a thing called workplace retaliation. It's a legal terminology. And it's legal terminology. And when you're asked something and you do not move in the way that your superior wants you to move, and then they begin to retaliate because of that. I'm going to ask y'all this question. Do y'all feel like I've been attacked this season? What do you got? Do y'all? I want to look at the comments. Do you guys, again, I always say my fair share of being attacked. That's fine. You know, I've been taking attacking. It's all good. But I want to talk about this season. Do y'all feel like this season I've been attacked more than ever? I'm looking. I'm looking. I see some absolutely. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Hell yeah. I'm looking. So I want you to imagine your superior asking you to allow them to be your team manager. And you don't accept the offer. And you don't accept the offer. Wow. You don't accept the offer because you feel you don't have the proof, but it's a feeling that there's a misalignment. So you don't accept the offer. And then all hell breaks loose on you in your workplace. And you have proof of this, by the way. You have proof of it. There's a whole Zoom. So, interesting. And I can't say too much more because I can't show too much right now. But that's enough. So, last piece I'm going to address. Last piece I'm going to address. Yeah, I see y'all saying, wow, yeah. And I felt this. And still walked around with my head held high. No, not a TV manager as opposed to starting on a show, another role. And as you know, managers get a percentage of things they get for you, book for you, do for you, things like that. That was a whole second role, not nothing in exchange of being on a TV show. No. So, yeah, it is crazy. And you know, I was hoping to be able to close a door silently. I thought what you would never should have to say silently, quietly. But I guess that's still no. Because you continue disrespect, disregard, lies. Ain't gonna do this. blessed to have some amazing supporters that I refuse to turn on. In an attempt to further isolate me, by the way. And I refuse to do that too. And I won't. Because the fact of the matter is, the mellometers are critical thinkers, highly educated, and who have been seeing it. This is without me telling y'all nothing. It's your first time hearing all of this. And that's interesting because people be like, they got special needs. They got they're a cult. And I'm like, special needs, why I don't get invited? Where's the memos, the leaders, the minutes, the song? Who's hosting us? Are they via Zoom? Are we meeting up at another state? Like, what is going on? How is this happening? So I know a lot of y'all might be really upset because I have not shared a lot of what I'm sharing. It's y'all first time hearing it. Y'all first time hearing it. But yeah, I refuse to go against. Why would I? Why would I do that? Why would I? When I've been over here knowing what's been going on, I just been holding it. But they've been riding for me. Because they're into it. Because they have consistency. They've been seeing it right on the wall without me telling them. I just sit back and be like, you know them critical thinkers? Yeah. I ain't saying yet. I will when I get ready, but they did on the money. Yeah. So we have a whole season about an internet group. And it's discussed the whole half of a season, and then as soon as we discuss other people's stuff on the internet, it's a problem. Interesting. But I have double experience. Okay. Last thing, Nelly Chris. Listen. I am in a season of my life where I only want people in my life who reciprocate. There is no gray area for me. It's black or white. It's black and white. It's no gray. People wanted to know, well, why she asking Chris this if she don't care? Because that's supposed to be my friend. That's why. They got nothing about caring. It's about, let me take some heart posture and some morals around the people I got around me because, I don't know. I need to ask some questions because this might be good. So it wasn't because I cared. Not about not about whatever happened. It's about you who's supposed to be my friend. That's it. That's all. Right? So, after that conversation that Chris and I had, right? I know because I saw the clip, there was a confessional about whether or not she was going to come to the doctor, whether or not how I got to this, that's her. No, that's real. That's real. I ain't a fool with you, I don't. I fool with you, I don't. Or I don't. If I feel like you ain't on the up and up, I'm not going to fool with you. So yeah, I did what? Like, when did normal become abnormal? I don't know this matters. When did normal become abnormal? Like, of course. And not because it mattered, because the same way that moon made shot, that y'all didn't see when I said, girl, I was like, I don't care how this might be. It's the same way I felt, except you were supposed to be my friend, so I need to see what kind of time you want. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Then I went with now what got me was,
Hey, Chef Don.
I have allowed episodes to go by where it seemed as if, almost as if I'm the reason people are grieving. Miss Nell is grieving her mom passing. God bless her soul. That has something to do with me. So let me say this. I never was on the phone calling Miss Nell the right. Never. The times that I was around Chris was when all four of us were together. Nell, Chris, me, and my ex, and sometimes just me and Lavere, like we do barbecue, we play barbecue, like I said, we do barbecue, we cook. We would all hang out as couples. The one one time that I caught him screaming and crying was when my $17,000 was taken out of my account. Yep. Yep. All the time. And that was in 2020. And towards the end of 2020. So when I was married, there was never, now if you ladies felt something, because I can't, this is the thing, you might have felt that way. I don't know. So I'm not going to take away other people's feelings. You have the right to your own feelings. But what I can say is, I know for a fact that I never was on the phone calling and begging you to come in with me because I heard I'm going through this in my marriage. We would literally, y'all, we would have barbecues and stuff. Hours. Like, get into some conversations. But y'all, I'm sorry, but it's true. I never was a person calling, having people leave to come see about me. No. Could ever.
Can anybody name a Scorpio in their life that's asked?
There's never been a time where Chris and Will ever just came to our house and we just had a counseling session. The one that looked like a counseling session that y'all saw was one that was filmed. When I heard the blacks. Any other time, y'all, that we were together, we even cutting up, laughing, playing cards, and we, like I said, like probably couples do, sometimes we may go start talking about some stuff. And then usually I'm listening to them talk about, get on the hill. So I ain't even got that much to say. I'm listening. So, I mean, it's just literally like, when did that? When was that? I'll never forget.
So far, we've had Melody prove timelines and receipts for her interaction with Kimmy to show that Kimmy's smoke is fake and that all she was putting on at the reunion is manufactured rage targeted at Mel to create the narrative. She showed proof timeline receipts on the fact that production tells them what they're going to talk about before they get to the scene. And even after the scene, her, Kimmy, and Maurice had hashed it out. So last night when Melody kept saying, in the reunion episode, Melody kept saying, but Kimmy, we talked about it. But Maurice, we talked about it and everything was fine. And then to take it a step further, she brings up a bad butt job or whatever, which is crazy to me. Let me see, can I get to that part in the episode? View all in my herstory. Where is it? Dang, that was early in the day, huh? Married to Medicine. Thanks for coming in. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Yeah, so all of Kimmy's histrionics are like freaking manufactured. Because it was squashed. This is basically like over on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, how Meredith and Lisa Barlow get to the reunion and bring up everything that was previously squashed from years ago. Yeah, equivalent. Huh. Well, let's look at this. Let's just go search here. Let's go search here. And then let's go to right. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the audio for this. I'm not going to mess with the current video that's up, but I will bring up this audio from last night's episode. And even how like they entered and had Melody enter last and then sit on that, how the stage was awkward. 3 people on one side, 6 people on the other. Really? It was just weird.
Are you ready? Of course I'm ready. Stay ready. I got you ready. I'm really ready. You ready for it?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, last night's episode was not the description.
Right? You know, it's telling. They do all this reading and all this information. How many of you cared that, like, is he actually okay? I did. I said you.
Exactly. That's okay. Was a breathalyzer administered?
I don't want to go into details.
I liked one thing I can say.
Where do you think stand right now?
I liked the line of questioning that Carlos did with Maurice around the DUI. However, the way he like smooth deflected and tried to make it Melody's fault for the officer having suspicions that he was driving drunk while he was traveling between the witching hours of 3 a.m. and 12 p.m. somewhere without Kimmy. That was weird. But here's some of it from last night's episode.
Everybody else is cheating. That's how issues start.
I feel like the Oval probably wouldn't have went around, disparaging my character to a number of individuals. They would probably called me.
When it comes to your character, you kind of took care of that on your own. You mentioned that you have Maurice's back no matter what, correct?
No, I don't.
She said yes. Maybe not. She said yes.
So, Maurice J. Scott, Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was it. Okay? Listen, you've always been seen as this very level-headed, valedictorian in law school, which is a huge accomplishment. People have always seen you with the voice of reason, and you seem to make good choices. Can you explain to us how you were booked for a DUI?
A police officer suspected something, and he arrested me for it.
Okay. There has been accusations that you ran into a pole.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
That's accurate.
That is accurate.
That's accurate.
Okay. Was a breathalyzer administered?
You guys, we got Shannon Bedore running into houses in Orange County, Real Housewives of Orange County. We got Karen Huger running into trees, Real Housewives of Potomac. And now we have Maurice Scott running into poles on Married to Medicine. Okay.
I don't want to go into details, but public record will show that.
Are you representing yourself in this?
No, I have a lawyer.
Where do things stand right now with this case?
It's an ongoing legal issue. And what's really difficult about this whole situation is watching all of the individuals up here basically convict me before I was proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the standard. Ultimately, the law says you're innocent until proven guilty.
Or if you plead guilty.
Well, that's a different story. However, you're innocent until proven guilty. But watching each individual, right, it's telling.
They do all this reading and all this information. How many people care that, like, is he actually okay? I did. I texted you. Yeah. I called you. That was the first question.
On the night of what happened, you were at Black, correct?
I was at Black earlier, yeah.
You were arrested in the morning.
Correct.
When you left Black, where did you go?
I went home.
To Kimmy.
I was on my way to home.
So on your way home to Kimmy, you got into the accident. Where were you in between the time of Black and your arrest?
Traveling.
You were traveling? By car?
By vehicle.
Okay. Were you alone?
I was the only person there.
Was Kimmy the last woman you were with before you got arrested?
Absolutely.
Okay. You and Kimmy, did y'all leave together or leave separately?
We left separately.
So, Kimmy, you went home.
Are you speculating that I was home?
I'm asking. Were you speculating?
Okay. So all of that for Kimmy. I mean, when they were bringing up side babies on Mel and Martell's cheating and all of that, man, this is a lot of snippy, Kimmy, for something that the authorities are already involved in, and acting like Black people reading facts printed in for public consumption is somehow the problem. She's all, you got everybody reading, everybody's reading and thinks they know everything. I'm like, okay, knowledge is power much? But it just shows how fake last night was. And then for Nell to be sitting up there with rhinestones on her eyes in that dress, she looked like, has anybody been watching Traders? Does anybody know that Danielle is a trader? And she always has that like pensive look on her face ever since she got named trader. And I'm like, girl, it's a dead giveaway. You always have this furrowed brow and look like really disturbed and terrified for no reason ever since you got picked to be a trader. And that's how Nell is coming off. She's like sitting there looking like she's gonna bust into tears at any moment because she knows she's about to come with some bullshit. But anyway, Curvies, this live with Melody, she's getting to the Nell part of it all right now. We're gonna finish listening because I think it really shows how last night was such BS, how manufactured everything is, and what a great thing it is that unfortunately Melody left the dumpster fire. Because, I feel like, as a woman in construction, Melody knows that she could have just claimed insurance on the site and recouped as soon as she got rid of the current subcontractors. But it's seeming like, for some reason, Carlos King he went from having her at his Messy Mondays event. Remember the season open with him and her at the Messy Mondays event and everybody else in the audience? And it seemed like they were two peas in a pod. And now all it takes is 30 episodes later, and Melody is your active target. Very, very interesting. I'm torn. Like, I had just done a great tirade the other day about the reasons that Melody Rodgers should not have left her the thing that she built. And I felt that a fumigation should have happened, and they should have let the riffraff leave and the bed bug infestation leave and the mugshot epidemic happening with her castmates leave. And she should have brought on some real movers and shakers that didn't copy everything she did and had a singular creative thought that they could act on without her doing it first. Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting to me that, but you know what? All money ain't good. That's the same we have in dominoes or any kind of other games that you play for money. All money ain't good money. That means when you can get that quick dime playing dominoes, if you do, you might block yourself out from doing any other plays later based off of how well you count them, you know? So 10 now might lock you out of the game later. And I feel like that's probably the type of decision process that Melody went through. She's like, well, I created it. I had a 9 season run. And just like the spiritual attacks that she's been under has been a lot, even to witness as a viewer. I'm like, that's a lot. I don't hang out with bitches like this in real life. I'm telling you, I do not hang out with nobody who's actively stealing my ideas and then being combative and aggressive with me every chance they get, trying to put me back in harm's way as much as a ex-lover who's like all full key abusive, allegedly. Emotional abuse counts. Yeah. And last night's episode was trash. It was whack. They had to chop that thing up so far from the description that had the alleged grooming in it. This description right here. This was what we were supposed to talk about last night. We were supposed to get the Kimmy and Melody segment, and we were supposed to get Destiny claims about being fluffed for a threesome. And Sonny was supposed to join the cast last night. You see how chopped that was? What we got was Martell deny, Delu. He pled guilty, but it is not guilty. Okay. And then we had the new power couple is the Scotts. And then we had Kimmy and Maurice attack Melody. And then we had we didn't get any Sonny. It looks like they're going to lead with Nell perhaps next time. And Sonny might join later. But yeah, they had to chop it up. That's why it hurt so bad. It was awkward to watch. Man, ooh. The editor for that won't be getting any awards. It was messy. And Carlos King is messy for turning on Melody like that. I feel like he turned on Melody, actually. And that's just an opinion. He can do what he wants, but I don't know why he did it. Dusty offered her services for Kimmy and Maurice 2 seasons ago or so, right? Remember? She was like, oh, yeah. But now other people are grooming her. It's just crazy. Crazy. But I don't think they should have the benefit or pleasure of thriving off of any concept or ideal or production of Melody Rodgers. I feel like the complainers, the ankle biters of 9 seasons, Scott's et al., should leave the premises. If you don't like Melody's ankles, then leave the premises from the show from where her ankles abide. They were basically like, you invite some guests over to your house and they end up messing up the joint so bad, you just like go to your own room and lock yourself in your own room and just wait it out, knowing that you're going to have a mess to clean as soon as they leave. But then they never leave. And they bring home jars full of cockroaches to run amok in your mansion. And then the whole time complain that your mansion is now messy, but they made the mess. That's the equivalent to what we've watched happen on this show. Ungrateful much? These ladies, instead of like thank Melody for the platform, for the ideal that the concept was then morphed into to even have them on, I don't remember any thanking period on here, any grace period for Melody. It's been full on attack, disprove, anything to try to make Melody and her beautiful mother and even her beautiful children the problem while copying everything she does. It was so bizarre to watch. It was like single black female much. I was so glad that there was always cameras around on these girls' trips because you know how girls' trips can end up with one person at the bottom of the balcony. They would have taken turns wearing Melody suits. Talking about, I don't know what happened, but nobody called the authorities. That's the kind of, it was just awkward. I want to wear you vibes coming off these three. And then I don't know what Scott Bottomy that Kimmy had. There was a season when Kimmy was like one of my faves. And it was the season that up to and through the season that she told the world that in real life, she wouldn't even hang out with a bitch like Letitia Scott. That wouldn't even be somebody she hung out with. Remember that season, you guys? I don't know what season that was, but I remember that reunion. And I think that was the year that Kimmy had on, no, the Letitia had on the orange dress, right? And Kimmy Scott said that she wouldn't even usually hang around a person like Letitia if they weren't related by marriage. And then they went on vacation, and Kimmy came back with a scar on her upper frontal lobe that was fresh stitched from where they did a lobotomy on her of some type, allegedly. And she was drinking Scott juice from then on. She flipped a script faster than freaking Dr. Simone on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I mean, on freaking Married to Medicine. Look, I'm getting my shows all convoluted. Because I call Dr. Simone Dr. Pancakes because she flip-flops so much, you know? But she flipped harder. She there was no semblance or representation of the previous Kimmy Scott that abided in her skin suit. She went from I would never to now she's just recently she was like practically tonguing it up with Tisha in the pool on vacation while Maurice was over at the other side of the pool talking to the other lady. Remember? Uh-huh. And Kimmy can stand by her man, but when Melody stood by her man, it was a problem. Really? Really? Melody deserved to get what she got, but Kimmy's praised for sticking by Maurice's lipstick chin having ass, talking about I was traveling. How far is Credit One after hours from their house? Like the word travel implies mileage. The word travel implies outside of your 15-mile radius of life. A lot of people have their life in a 15-mile radius. We'll give them 25, right? They're in the country. Let's give them 25. Well, country compared to California. But his words about how he was traveling. Let's finish listening to it. I'm gonna let you guys listen because Carlos did some good questions. Just how evasive they get to be and then turn around and attack Melody is just fucking bizarre to me.
It's a speculation. I like it, girl. I like it. I actually watched the show. I actually listened to what people say, and as a journalist, I'm able to take in information. Okay. So you said in a scene that I watched, you said you were at home, and it doesn't mean when I left Black I went home. Okay, so perfect. Were you at Credit One after hours listening to Teddy Grass, or I haven't done after hours Credit One before. Okay, so when you left Black, where did you go?
That's why I stopped taking gabapentin.
Okay.
And any other medication.
Well, that's a commercial, obviously. I don't take GABA.
Up next on the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion.
It was because it was a topic of conversation all over social media.
And that was a whole popular social media about your ass. Whatever bad butt job you got.
I ain't talking about that.
You said you were at home, and it
doesn't mean when I left Black I went home.
Okay, so when you left Black, where did you go?
This not my line of questioning.
So you taking on the Scott in terms of being a gaslighter?
I think it's a bunch of
Ooh.
bull. Like the whole line of questioning. Like it's obvious because we were all together.
That was one good thing Carlos said. He said, you're taking on being a Scott in the form of a gaslighter. So he does know the Scots are full of shit, you guys, and would turn on Melody's realness for full of shit gaslighting Scots. Okay? I'm just like, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, new subscriber, Latrice. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Dusty offered her services. Yep. You know, we're up on 2 hours here, and I think I proved my point that I said when I started last night's reunion was whack, wiki whack, and that they had to jump ship from this description of that was up there, that it was supposed to be Kimmy and Maurice. She blew that theory up. She showed the actual text messages from production that said we're going to talk about this. So when she just said Kimmy, it was all over social media. It was the topic because that's what production told her was the reason she needed to bring it up was. Okay? So for everybody who says Kimmy ate anything except for gaslighting air, they're mistaken because it was all a setup to create a narrative, a false narrative against Melody Rodgers. And I'm not even a mellometer. I'm Team Larger Curves. I just have sense enough to see a setup when I see a fucking setup from a mile away. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. They set Melody up to be the scapegoat and the villain, and everything she does is too much, but then they run behind her and do the exact same thing. Oh, she's just selling stupid t-shirts. And then your wife starts selling t-shirts. Well, actually, she was trying to give away her T-Squad t-shirts, remember? Because she didn't want to be like Melody. So she was just wasting money. She was just sending out free t-shirts, covering shipping and handling and production. Okay? Because she wants a squad so bad. Right? Because her husband was talking so much shit about Melody and her t-shirts. Right? And then we have Destiny. How did you get first chair's ass up there with that blonde? Was not the right color. It looked very, very like high body count platinum blonde hair. That was very high body count platinum blonde hair going on over there. And it looked very wispy and almost like one of those costume wigs from Spirit City. You know, it was not giving what she thought it gave. And sitting next to Martell, like almost to antagonize Melody, that they're over there as a couple and everybody's coupled but Melody, instead of having all the single people represented single, like how they represented Melody as single. Are you guys even seeing the setup? Are you guys aware of the freaking programming that just happened? And for her to have to leave her show so she can have peace of mind, instead of production ever protect her or her reputation, in as much as not allow these false narratives to be carried out without repercussion and punishment, because then they are given legs on air. And then for the Scots to have the audacity to have gone live a couple weeks ago and said that they're about to start filming and that they won't be addressing anything from social media, remember? But Melody had to do that for 9 years. But oh, now we want to show Black excellence. You see what I'm saying? So the setup was to use Melody like that, but now they don't even get a turn. And now it's time to turn on Black excellence with the skeletal remains of everything that Melody put in place for their use. This is some colonization shit right here. This is occupying Melody's territory in a way. and she's leaving her war-stricken home zone because there's no peace at her house. She keeps getting bombed. She keeps getting bombarded with a barrage of bombs of a fake-ass narrative against her, involving her sweet mother, her brother, her children, but nobody else's stuff gets brought in like that or attacked like that. I'm just saying, as a viewer, that's what the fuck I noticed. And if you didn't notice that, or if you feel like Melody somehow deserved to get cheated on, deserved to get treated like this by these ladies who she helped, then that says more about you than it does about me, I feel. Because I've seen it demonstrated that Melody has helped every single lady on this thing, all of them, personally or professionally, on and off the screen. And these ladies have not done anything but tear Melody down on and off the screen. It's sad. I love Black excellence, and I hate the stereotypes of angry Black women, of things like that. But you know what this turned out to be the biggest stereotype of? And I'm seeing it on other shows also that have melanated excellence and Black goddesses about Happy Black History Month. Everything you fucking use today in 2025, check it. I bet it came from a Black person's mind. Talk about DEI. Check your American history. Every fucking thing is because of DEI. We made it and they use it and claim it. But check it. Everything that makes anything work in the current world of 2025, in our current generation, came from the mind of a Black person. I would say like 80% of that shit, from the math to astrology to the words to the religions, the foundations of this shit is all Black history. So you can't take out what is the truth. You can't whitewash everything. And you got to give respect to where respect is due. But the stereotype I hate the most is crabs in a bucket stereotype for Black people. Ooh, I do not appreciate that stereotype. And my daddy, rest in peace, Papa Curves, he used to go crawfishing. And he would come home with big, gigantic trash cans full of freaking crawfish that then, we'd share with the neighborhood, and we'd have a crawfish boil and all kind of stuff, right? And I would take a couple out as pets, and we would cut open a freaking 2-liter bottle, and I'd, make it into a little habitat and let my little crawfish go all in there and live until it was dinner time. But my dad took a moment when he brought home one of those trash cans one time, and he was like, "Baby, come over here and look." He's like, "You see this? You see how these are?" Because they were trying to get out. They were trying to get out of the bucket. These crawfish, even. It doesn't even have to be crabs. These things in a bucket. These happen to be crawfish. We're trying to get out of the bucket. And he said, "Look at how the other crawfish are pulling him down." That's a mentality, crabs in a bucket mentality. He said, and a lot of Black people have it. He said, and that just means that they don't look out for the next Black person. And he said, and it's really important that we look out for each other. So when you see a Black person succeeding, let their success be their success without attempting to tear them down. And I didn't really fucking get it. I didn't get it. My dad was deeper than the fucking ocean, okay? And but now in my adulthood, I freaking get it. And what I witness is crabs in a bucket mentality. Melody had it going on, and these ladies wanted to do it, be it so bad that they came for her ankles and were inhibiting her rise further with the weight of their own, I guess, insecurities, because they needed Melody to try to get out of the bucket. And she's like, "Look, you guys are halting my growth. I'm going to need to just get out of the bucket altogether." So she's out of the bucket. Over on Married to Medicine, I feel like Phaedra is a crab in a bucket with her using people to get to a place, and then she actively works against them after she's done with them. Chanel Ayan got her on freaking Dubai, helped film scenes with her and everything. And then she gets off that show and gets over to Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. They say, "Well, who's the most overrated housewife?" And she's on Chanel Ayan and was serious and was not talking to the girl anymore. And then she calls Quad and was like, "Quad, can I get on Married to Medicine?" Quad helps her get on Married to Medicine. And then she went to HR with the rest of with Contessa and Sweet and Sour. And some Etzel, Dr. Jackie, everybody but Dr. Heavenly was in on the shits. Talking about, we're not going to film with her. Tried to pull a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City on Quad. Phaedra Parks actively tried to get Quad fired because she wanted to be on that show, only to turn around and drop him at the dime and the drop of a feather because she had an opportunity to return to this Titanic. She dubbed the Real Housewives of Atlanta the Titanic, and she ran back to the sinking ship, which is the Titanic, which is still going to sink because nothing is going to go right on Real Housewives of Atlanta until they do right by Nene Leakes. They're basically the color purple cursed at the end of the movie, where she does those two fingers to the man, and she's like, "Nothing you do right." That's what Real Housewives of Atlanta is going through over there. They can bring back everybody. Oh, and then she gets back over there and they ask her about Phaedra, gets back over on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she just recently got asked about should Nene come back because they have Cynthia back. They have Phaedra back. They have Portia back. Ken is gone. Candy's gone. Sheree, they've tried to revive how many times? And Phaedra Parks gets asked about the icon that's Nene Leakes. And you know what Phaedra did? Phaedra flipped it over. She said, "Oh, well, yeah, Nene's an icon. But, I think it would be great if Kim Zolciak even came back." Really? You can't even leave it on Black Excellence because Nene would have outshined your ass. That's the other thing. You pull them down, and then it's because you want what they have. And if they come back, you'll be outshined. Kimmy irritated me. She was like an itch in your ass. What did Dr. Heavenly say? She was like what did Dr. Jackie say? She was like an itch in your ass that you can't scratch. She was like when your tampon is dry, but you have to take it out anyway because you have to use the bathroom, but it's dry and you know it's gonna hurt. Yeah. That was Kimmy last night. From her ponytail to her ice skating dress. To her thick-necked husband talking about traveling. It was all bad. Nell, she's already looking like an irritation waiting to happen. Sitting there looking as pensive as Danielle on Traders, just looking like she's going to have to. Why does she always look so freaking worried? And then I heard her daughter went in last night. She's like, she wasn't even close with her mom like that to be missing her death. Did you hear that Letty did that? Remember the Letty that was on the show? And she was like, "Mom, you don't treat me the same." Remember? Well, she be taken to the social medias, you guys. And let her tell it. This whole narrative that Chris and Nell are trying to spin on Melody to further the narrative that Melody is somehow self-absorbed and a horrible person. Their own daughter is like, that's bullshit. Cough, cough, bullshit. Cough, cough, she wasn't even close with her mom like that. Cough, cough, they didn't even have it like that. Keep on invoking her dead mother's name to be like, "Oh, I missed time with my dead mom." That's disgusting. If it's true, if her daughter is right and they weren't even messing with each other like that, and now she's invoking that to try to help Melody look bad, to run with the narrative that obviously production is putting in place if everybody's getting a fucking text of what you're going to talk about in the scene? A lot of faking McFakerson stuff is happening in these reality TV shows, and we're finding out. No wonder they need a union. These bitches are working a scripted series. They need a union. They need to be compensated. They need royalties. They need a lot. They need protections in place. But did you guys know that in my research so far this week, what we've come up with is if you do get in a contract situation, even as a reality person, that a hostile work environment can negate your contract and can make it null and void. Thus, you can be able to sue for the damages you suffered in the hostile work environment. Did you know that? Yeah, you guys better get a good freaking lawyer. Nene just needed a better lawyer. That's what I think. This shit could have been done with a long time ago. But anyway, you guys, I don't think the Scots should be thriving off of what Melody built. And then look, but who would want to? Like, what kind of real boss bitch wants to just move in the other lady's office and use her stationery like it's yours? Who really wants to do that except for a fucking colonizer mind? And we all know colonizers are just lazy. That's why you just go move in other people's shit instead of build your own. Shout out to Black History Month. Shout out to the greatness and the ingenuity of the Black mind, the creativity, the imagination. Shout out to the strength and resilience of blackity, black melanin. Shout out to the freaking substantia nigra deep in the recesses of our mind that help create the dark matter that helps us be UV protected and our freaking immune system stronger. Even John F. Kennedy just said it about the, I mean, it's not like we don't feel pain and shit, but our immune systems and everything is better. Did you know that what happens? Google this shit. Google substantia nigra in your mind. It's very near your pineal gland. Yeah. Yep. And it's responsible for creating melanin. And did you guys know that Parkinson's has to do with a melanin deficiency? Yeah, Google that shit, man. Did you guys know that the freaking military and science has been trying to use melanin for lots of different things to enhance? Yeah. Did you guys know that melanin is the reason our music sounds better? Because everything is just better with melanin. You see it different, you smell it different, you sense it. And I don't know. The melanin is just like a freaking, on a video game, how you get an XP power. Melanin is like that. I mean, just do the potato salad test. It's evident in a potato salad test whose senses are working better. It's evident in a song test whose senses are working better. It's evident in a movement test of rhythm whose rhythm is rhythming better. It's evident on an immunity and strength level who's doing what better, because they've been trying to exterminate people of our kind since the bajillionth of it all. And here we are thriving always, ever. It's evident. And now Robert F. Kennedy just said the other day that we don't even need the fucking vaccines that they were trying to push on us because our immunity is better and we don't even need the same schedule. Not that they include us in this research on that shit anyway. But yeah. Half the drugs I take from the doctor when they do give them to me, if you read the pamphlet that looks like an OSHA poster inside, bet your bottom dollar it says something about the efficacy on African Americans not being tested or included in the trials, and so it might not work that way for you. Yeah. Read your freaking OSHA poster that comes with your medicine. See if you were included in the fucking trial, because they know they don't even have to check. But they do have to check because of Henrietta Lacks, which is what all the vaccines are even made up of, to try to make other people who aren't melanated as strong as the melanated because of Henrietta Lacks cells. Hello? where they stole that black lady's cells and made a whole science department and founded all these freaking prescriptions off of her freaking cells and still haven't paid that black family nothing. I could go on and on. But I won't, because I was on Love and Marriage Huntsville and I was talking about black excellence, and that's how I went to everything blackety black and how we need to get respect that we're due, because even that White House and the privilege to sit in it is only because of black people. We built that too. Yep, sure did. No reparations, no 40 acres and a mule. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. They did attempt to start giving out up to 40 acres and a mule. And they did it to about 1,000 freedmen. And then after Lincoln was assassinated and everything, the next person that got in was took it all away. Yep. First time they ever used eminent domain was to take back that land they gave to the Negroes after they became free from the Emancipation Proclamation. Yep. Took back all that land. I bet the Indians, the Native American indigenous Indians, wish they could take back their shit. But no, they had to walk a death trail 450 miles away to nothing, and then got there and the shit ended up being chock full of oil, and then they got attacked for that shit too. Trail of Tears, that's what it was called, the Trail of Tears. Freaking colonizers everywhere, just running amok, fucking up everything. Anyway, excellence is black. Be black excellence. Don't be a crab in a barrel. If another woman gives you a hand up, then pay it forward instead of crushing her or crushing down the next one. There are a lot of wonderful lessons we can get from seeing these ladies share a version of their life. Don't be a shady bitch. Be a grateful hoe. When somebody gives you a hand up, say thank you and pay it forward and be nice to that person and treat them with respect. There's a lot of things we can learn from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yep. But, and it's just the kind of mess that they would even entertain Coleslaw going to the bed that Melody just left, because that's the kind of bed that Coleslaw likes, is the kind of bed that Melody just left. She can't even, bed bugs only like occupied beds. So if they run and go get the bed bug, or they run and bring Miss Wander back on the show, woo, talk about ghetto city. Ghetto fabulous city. Went from black excellence to side chicks unanimous. It's a lot. It's a lot. But you have to understand, part of why I even do larger curves is to point this stuff out, because I feel like it's a harmful representation for black people to play a part in the harmful stereotypes of our community en masse for global consumption as entertainment. And I don't think that it's any trick. I believe it's by design that they would have taken a concept about such black excellence and let it devolve into crabs in a bucket mentality with gaslighting and fake narratives running amok, instead of the black excellence that is literally existing. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like it's harmful for our community specifically to have this as our entertainment. There's places for this entertainment. There's Jocelyn's Cabaret. There's a whole lot of shows on Zeus. There's a whole Love and Hip Hop franchise. I mean, there's a lot of places you can go to be ratchet and ghetto. You don't have to tout black excellence and then be ratchet and ghetto. Don't be bipolar. Pick a fucking personality and stick to it. Either you're ratchet and you're twerking over at Black and having the after hours at Credit One while traveling, or you're black excellence and this is your family unit and this is the family business and this is what you're showing your kids about creating generational wealth and legacy, and this is the project that you are working on, and this is the family philanthropy that you do, and this is the foundation that you give to. I mean, it's like either fucking or. Why are you production, own Oprah Winfrey Network specifically allowing this opportunity of Black excellence to devolve into ratchet hoe shit. Pimps up, hoes down, everybody get a mugshot. What the fuck? And they're all being praised for it. New rule, if you get a mugshot, you can't be on a Black excellence show anymore. And then tear down the only lady who doesn't have a fucking mugshot. That's fucking ridiculous. The same way the people that are getting hired at the highest places in the country right now, it's like an insane asylum. Somebody opened the doors and now the craziest person is at the office talking about they're the freaking they're the manager of the place. And then the crazy ladies at the front. Have you guys seen Carl Weber's Family Business? You guys should check it out. That's a funny show. Well, that's a scene on there where the man is criminally insane and they kill the head doctor. And then the craziest one is sitting in there like he's the head doctor. And the other one he let out, she was just in the other cell, but now she's answering the front desk thing. And she has a fascination with knives and stuff. And it's just crazy. How did these people get in charge to be able to help run a narrative on an entire group of people under the premise of Black excellence, only for it to only ever be lies, bullshit, community peen, stereotypical infighting, all that stuff. Look, nobody's paying attention but me? I don't understand. I love Black excellence. I still want Claire Huxtable and Dr. Huxtable lifestyle. But even that was too strong for the programmers of networks and stuff that they needed to take that away from us while they ostracized and punished Bill Cosby. So they take that show out of syndication so that we can't see Black excellence on our screen with none of the fucking riffraff commonalities, because it's not just one way to be Black. You aren't just freaking ratchet. There are ratchet families that work their way out. There are ratchet families that stay ratchet. There is no ratchet. There's freaking religious. There's all different ways to be everything. But for the programmers of the networks and the production companies and the etels to constantly reduce us to harmful stereotypes, even on that show, Wags and Girlfriends, or whatever the shit that show was, that was a perfect opportunity for those ladies to be Black excellence. And instead we have these bitches creating fights with the white girl so that we can't hang out with the white girl and bringing up all her shit when everybody's shit could have been brought up. But, it's just infighting constantly instead of just everybody existing in their excellence. I don't get it. I'm ready for a new vibe. I'm ready for a new shtick. You know what I'm saying? Mama's got a new bag of beans or whatever it is. But I'm just ready for some new. If it's going to be reality, let it be reality. And in reality, I'm not hanging out with none of these bitches' personalities. I'm not hanging out with the Kimmy. I'm not hanging out with the Destiny. I'm not hanging out with the Letitia in real life. The way they lie, connive, and backstab Melody shows me that I would not be safe around these types of bitches. And just like over on the other shows, I wouldn't even hang out with those kind of people. I wouldn't even hang out to be in this situation. Somebody asked me on a panel the other day, they said, LRGA Curves, oh, it was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. What would you do if something? I was like, it wouldn't have happened because I would have peeped that energy from moment one and limited my interactions with a bitch like that. It would have never happened that we get all the way to a reunion for you to try to make a moment off of me, because my spidey senses would have been up to the point where I would have created a healthy boundary in my real life and not even been around a bitch like you who would put a picture up of me sucking dick in a freaking grand opening for your event. I wouldn't even been around a bitch like you. These people, except for Melody, is not Black excellence. Yep, Charlene. I have watched the show from the beginning. I have yet to see any accomplishment. Only he say, she say. Yep. All they did was pick on one person, and production let it happen. They let this excellent Black woman's example be under constant attack by other people that look like her. Okay? So they allowed this crab and crab mentality instead of a sisterhood of excellence. It was them against Mel from moment one. And you don't even have to be a millimeter to prove your point. All you have to do is look at the fucking bite marks on her ankles from these bitches coming for the last 9 seasons. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I really hope the show gets what it deserves. I hope they get the ratings they deserve. I hope they get the slot they deserve. I mean, this entire 30 episodes we had of Melody, from the men and from the women, just like over in Married to Medicine. All they talk about is heavenly. Who's the power and the problem, obviously, because you can't keep her out of your mouth. So I'd really like to see what the fuck they're gonna do without a million, but I'm not gonna be watching. I'm real good at boycotting. I haven't watched freaking Real Housewives of Atlanta since they did what they did to Nene. Yeah, I feel like she was due a conversation. And usually I would continue to support the other melanated goddesses, but when those melanated goddesses did not support Nene, I was like, what crabs are these? That they would agree that there is stuff that needs to happen, but then when they don't stand by her. Interesting. Would let her falter like that. So yeah, I haven't watched since then. And the Love and Marriage Huntsville, it takes a lot to be committed to a whole 33 weeks out of your year, out of a 52-week year anyway. And I won't be dedicating any of my time to the leftovers. That's what they should change the name to. Love and Marriage Huntsville Leftovers Edition. Yeah. Because that's what it's gonna be. Is a lot of. I hope she has an ironclad "don't mention my motherfucking name and don't show my picture" clause. Yeah, they'll be referring to her as her and she for the next 9 years if they get that far. But I don't know how far they'll be able to get. They won't have nothing to really copy up close and personal like Melody anymore. Yep, it's very sad. Anyway, you guys, I appreciate you for coming through, spending your time with me on this Sunday. It's Groundhog Day, and it's a 2-2 portal. It's supposed to be really good for manifesting abundance and whatnot. So remember what I always say, there's enough to go around. So go get some. Okay, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring the bell so you can get notified when I upload videos. Happy Sunday, everybody. Appreciate you for coming through. Peace.